Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about DC and Warner Brothers' newest addition to the DCEU, Black Adam, now available on HBO Max. Let's talk about it, shall we? Spoilers! Okay, so we got Black Adam, one of my favorite villains or anti-heroes from DC. Yeah, they didn't go right with this one. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. I'm also gonna give my rating at the beginning of this one instead of towards the end. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 6. A 6, yes. And here's why. Because overall, it wasn't a bad movie. This was actually a decent movie. You know, except for the fact that The Rock forgot that he's an actor. And that you have to act. Acting means pretending to be something that you are not. Or maybe are not. Whatever. It's called acting. And if you could even affect an accent for this Middle Eastern character, if you couldn't even put on some freaking pointy ears to look more like the actual character. They had a shot in this movie where they were showing how, okay, apparently it was his son back in 5,000 years ago that ended up getting called by the wizards in the midst about to getting killed, and they gave him the powers. And then in this flashback, they showed a silhouette of him, and that looked more like Black Adam than The Rock did. So it was very disappointing in that regard. But personality-wise, oh, he was Black Adam. He was definitely Black Adam, personality-wise, no doubt about it. The way he was killing people, tossing people, ripping arms, hard-talking everybody, yeah, that's Black Adam. Through and through, all the way. And it just would have, they even could have cast a Middle Eastern actor to play this. It did not have to be The Rock. I swear, that just, it continuously took me out of the movie because I know who Black Adam is. I read the comics. I play a video game called DC Universe Online. Been playing it for like 15 years now. Its latest update is about Black Adam. Sure, that was to coincide with the movie release, but that's neither here nor there. You can clearly see that The Rock is not Black Adam. I would have rather they did the story from the game than what they did with this nonsense. Oh, and then let's talk about, yeah, I'm gonna just get all the bad stuff out the way first. Cyclone and Atom Smasher, two wasted space characters that did not need to be there. I was sick of Atom Smasher and his goofiness, silliness, ineptitude, and need to flirt with this woman that he just met. Whilst on your first mission, you kind of should be focused on those types of things. And then they had him talking about his metabolism and how, you know, him growing and shrinking, he needs to eat and stuff like that, just like the Flash. But they had him looking retarded with the shit. Like, how you going to a meeting, a serious meeting with a bucket of chicken in your hand, bro? Think this ain't the time for you to have that fucking chicken. Whew. Okay, so yeah, two wasted space characters. That was time absolutely wasted with those two characters. And then my most hated character of all in this movie, Skateboard Boy. The annoying teenager on the skateboard that's just causing trouble wherever he goes. And I say causing trouble because that's what he was doing. From the beginning of the movie, all the way through to the end, this boy wasn't nothing but freaking trouble. Could not stand this character. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be like an analog for Black Adam's son that he lost back in the day, just like the woman was supposed to be an analog probably for his wife. But no. This boy is just like, just trouble everywhere. Everywhere he go, trouble follows. But his mom study don't want to punish him. Yeah, oh, so good and whatever. She had too much to say, too much control over what was happening in certain situations. You just a regular person, lady. We are all people with powers. Get the fuck back. What are you doing? Man, oh man, oh man. But now, what I did like was special effects was on point in this movie. Everything looked good. Looked good. Looked good. All of the special effects looked awesome in this movie. The scenery was nice. Some of it, one time I saw that it was green screen when the lady was holding her son and they was looking up at something, and behind them you could tell they was like, this is a bad set. I don't know what that is, but it took me out the movie for a second. But other than that, yeah, everything was looking good. Everything was looking good. Even the CGI creature Sabak at the end that they had to fight, it was alright. Amanda Waller, really? She had no reason to be in this movie. And as much as I love Henry Cavill and love Henry Cavill as Superman, he had no reason to be in this movie in the cameo scene at the end either. For 3 seconds, like, that was a waste of time. They should have had like a real scene. It could have been a 3-minute conversation. That would have been more interesting than the 5 seconds he floated down, came out the smoke, because they spent a lot of time with him in the smoke, coming out the smoke. That was all time he could have been actually on screen. But that was the time they wanted to do this big reveal that everybody already knew about, and then he has 3 lines. Yeah, you wasted everybody's time with that one. Everybody. Just saying. The writing was actually decent on this movie. I agree with that. You know, I didn't see any really like horrendous lines or people just doing random stuff that didn't make sense. Like, why are you here when you could be there? And well, a couple of times it was like, again, with this boy, they wrote dumb crap for this boy to do, and it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it. He got woke up. I didn't even tell you about the movie. I just told you all the good stuff and the bad stuff I like. He got woke up by her because she was trying to get this crown to hide it from the bad people, the Intergang. And Intergang wasn't looking like Intergang that I know from the comics or even the game that I played. It's like they just switched up everything. It made no sense. Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate is awesome. Dr. Fate is powerful. And a lot of times when Dr. Fate uses his powers, an Ankh appears. He uses that as a symbol of his powers. I seen one Ankh this entire movie from Dr. Fate. Everything else he did was all this crystallized crap that I was like, why? Why? And then he kept taking the helmet off. Dr. Fate does not take the helmet off. The helmet of fate stuck to his head. The helmet of fate has an embodiment inside of it, and it releases you when it feels like it. So him constantly taking that helmet off so that Pierce Brosnan can be on screen pissed me off. Then they didn't utilize Dr. Fate's powers properly, and then y'all killed Dr. Fate at the end. Really? So that Hawkman can pick up the helmet and use some illusion magic? Why? He should not be able to use no type of magic from Dr. Fate's helm. What the heck is going on here? Hawkman was cool though. Hawkman gave me all the angst and impatience that I know Hawkmans have. And it can be a bit annoying sometimes because that's just Hawkman's character. But I liked it. Hawkman was on point. That Cyclone and Atom Smash, I don't know how they ended up on the team. Really. The Justice Society can do better than that. Just saying. And why did we need the Justice Society and the Justice League is out there? Because Amanda Waller is on good terms with the Justice Society? Is that why? Because they don't hate her guts? Have anybody from the Justice Society ever talked to anybody from the Justice League? You know, questions that get asked when you decide to introduce a whole new group of people that's supposedly been around all this time. What up with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah, anyway, they got this crown of Sabak, this bad CGI thing that they fought at the end. Anyway, she got it. People want to take it. Of course, Intergang, one particular dude in particular wants to use it because he's one of the last descendants of the original king that Black Adam killed way back 5,000 years ago. So, yeah, he wants that. Then you got, oh my God, she wakes him up. She puts herself in position to be able to wake him up. She wakes him up He comes out, saves her brother, saves the son several times, because the son trying to pop culture him to death. Another annoying thing. I love that Black Adam floated everywhere. That was awesome. And this fool did not use doors. He bust through everything. I loved it. It was like hilarious to me. I love that. So he in disbelief about the world he in and how much Kahndaq done changed in 5,000 years, and he don't recognize the city, and then it's the whole backstory of him actually being the father of the boy who originally was the Black Adam, but then the boy shared his powers with his father so that he could save him, and then got shot with an arrow and died, and that made rage fill Teth Adam, and then he went on a spree and killed everybody in the city, and that's how that happened. And according to legend, he saved everybody, he freed the city, but in actuality, he went berserk and he couldn't control his powers and blew up everything. A move in which they used this movie, where he blows everything up, and then they try to make it seem like he got a moral cause because he hurt the little boy. When she said, "Well, how did he get shot?" It wasn't a shot. It was me. Yeah, but you knew what that was happening. Like, that was just like the impetus for him to go ahead and turn himself in to Hawkman and them after they did all this fighting continuously, like 3 or 4 times, and Hawkman studying his ass whooped. Hilarious. Whew. The Cyclone. Why? Her powers are useless against this in this instance. And then I did like the dancing that she did to do it, but yeah. Then we mentioned that she was experimenting on, and that's how she ended up with aerokinesis. But we don't get a picture of it, a glimpse of it, some emotional conversation about it. No. We get a quick Henry Winkler cameo. He was the original Atom Smasher, and this is his grandson, and so now this boy is all flirty and everything. I'm like, what the? Wait, we needed character development on these people. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. So he turns himself in, and that's when they take him to Amanda Waller underwater base and yada yada yada, leave him there. And then Dr. Fate had to pull a card later on to get him out once Sabbac show up, because the dude actually did what he needed to do with the crown and got the powers from the 6 demons. You know. And yeah. So Sabbac came, tried to sit on the crown, did sit on the throne rather, wrecked shop a little bit on the town, definitely effed up the Justice Society, to the point that Cyclone and Atom Smasher were totally useless. Like, these are 2 useless ass characters in this situation. Totally and completely. Then Dr. Fate does a mind thing, wakes Black Adam up in the facility. He fights his way out of this facility, swims from this deep ocean depth to the top, still can breathe somehow, floats there for a moment, has a moment in the afterlife with his wife and son, who tell him time's not up, say the word. He says Shazam, and now he's back. Come back to fight this Sabbac character who was hurting him and giving him a hard time. They had to give him, show that he wasn't totally invincible. But with the help of the Justice Society, Hawkman holding him down with some Dr. Fate helm holding help that didn't make sense. Yeah, they let him rip him in half, so they ripped Sabbac in half, and that was the end of that. He decided he's gonna rule over Kahndaq and be his protector. Not his hero, it's protector. Apparently there's a difference. So Amanda Waller told him to stay his ass there. Stay in Kahndaq, don't you leave. Deal with that. Peace out. And that's when she said there's somebody from another planet. That nobody on this planet is strong enough to deal with him. Well, we get some people not from this planet. How about that? Anywho, that was Black Adam in a nutshell. Yeah. Some of the detailed stuff in the middle wasn't even worth mentioning because they wasted it. They wasted stuff. Like him exploring the city and getting to know things. Like us having the character development for the Justice Society characters that y'all introduced. Like having Dr. Fate be freaking Dr. Fate and truly utilize his powers. Come on, man. Oh my God. So yeah, that was Black Adam. I'm so glad we are running to the end of the courses of the DCEU, and it's about to be rebooted. We got like 3 more movies left. we got, what is it? Shazam 2. We got the Flash movie, and we got Aquaman 2 coming down the pipeline. And I believe there's still season 2 of Peacemaker coming along. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, I'm glad when Peter Safran and James Gunn go ahead and reboot this whole thing, and start from scratch. I'm with it. They already did announcements. No more Henry Cavill. No more Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which I really love her as Wonder Woman. So I'm thinking everybody else is going to. So I'm going to just get my little jollies out of what they got left and say peace out to them at the end. As I say peace out to you guys right now. You all have a great day.